there's never been a more important time for doing what we're doing with character, social, emotional development. For me, everything comes back around to social emotional intelligence, which means being able to have healthy connections, being able to have relationships, being able to manage our emotions, making responsible decisions, being able to grow through difficulty. It's so vitally important. And for me, for those of you who know me, I know I sound like a broken record, but everything comes back to social and emotional intelligence. And a lot of what we're seeing in our world, we're going through an unprecedented time right now with COVID and all of the issues that we had, which, by the way, were at epidemic levels coming in. I'm talking about suicide, substance abuse, loneliness, school shootings. Nobody talks about those, but by the way, we had 6 going into lockdown by March 4th that resulted in 4 deaths and 3 during lockdown, and they continue. Nobody talks about them. Nobody talks about anything but COVID, but all of these issues that we had going into COVID are just simply escalating. Honestly, social and emotional learning is the only solution. If you have another one or a better one, please let me know. I've been saying this for 8 years now, since Jesse was murdered in his 1st grade classroom. By the way, the 8th anniversary is on Monday. It's been 8 years. I can't even believe it. And ever since that day, I've been saying to all sorts of groups, if you have a better idea, including Washington, D.C., please tell me, and I'll get behind it, because we are responsible for our children's health and well-being. Every time a child is harmed, every time a child's killed, it is our responsibility. It is our failure. And so we need to step up to the plate and be responsible. And everybody on here, it's what you're all doing. Thank you so much. You're taking responsibility by attending this fundraiser. You're so appreciated. And we have the solution. We have it. What we do addresses the cause of all of those issues. And you can't be talking about a solution unless you address the cause. And most of the time we've been focusing on the issues: substance abuse awareness, anti-bullying. Some of you may be going, what is she talking about? That's what we do, right? But it hasn't been working. Social emotional learning works. It addresses the cause of all those diseases of despair, and therefore it is the solution. You guys are all on here tonight. That's what you're supporting. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. And together we are going to change the world. I'm going to pass it over to Doug. Doug, do you want to say a few words?
Sorry, I had it on mute. Great to see you all, and thank you, Scarlett, for it's great to see everybody. I love see a wave, big wave from everybody. It's great, and I'm so grateful to have an opportunity to be a part of the Choose Love movement, and I'm super proud of what I've been able to help contribute in support of it, along with everybody else. And honestly, it's one of the greatest privileges in my entire life, and I don't say that lightly. I think everything that Scarlett and the team and everyone on this call has been contributing and doing is just phenomenal, and I'm so proud of the program that's started back with Steffi, and that has been continued on with others to, in a new digitized version. I took an initiative earlier in this year. I probably personally called close to 200 schools to just let them know that this new platform was available, and had during that process the good fortune to talk to a number of educators, including my niece, who is a teacher and using it. And just the stories over and over again of the impact that we're having on people's lives, like how amazing is it to be part of that? And I think each of us now has an opportunity to take an additional responsibility. I've been asked to do a training seminar in the near term about biggest trends and, in serving customers. Because I worked with a lot of businesses in my life. And part of the discussion has been just a lot of people feeling like there's a bit of a dark cloud out there right now. And they're burnt out, they're tired, they're exhausted. And I'll confess that a few months ago, I was feeling a little bit dark myself. And I questioned, and I started noticed it after a while. And I'm like, who am I? This is not the person that I want to be. And what I want to be is a source of light and inspiration. And I've been dialing up love, actually, in all of the engagements. And I'm feeling like if you have the ability to be a source of brightness in the world right now and create an openness for vulnerability, there's an awful lot of people who are seeking it. We were talking about a loneliness epidemic before COVID hit, and it's just making it worse. Everybody's out there looking for it, but most people are afraid to take the first step in creating an opening where it can exist. So I hope, I would love all of us, I'm sure everybody already naturally does it, but to be the source of creating an opening for where people can feel brighter and lighter, and that there's hope is a really wonderful gift that we all personally can bring to the world every day. And that this wonderful program, which I think is the very best in the planet, we get to be part of. So congratulations to everybody who's been involved. Kim has been a huge part of the next generation product. She immersed herself daily for how many months? Like 7 or 8 months, just every day. And I know it's been I don't mean to speak for her, but I know that has been one of the most rewarding things she's ever had the good fortune of being part of in her life as well. So thank you all for being here. Cheers. I think if you've got your wine, now's a good time. I love toasting, so let's toast it.
Well, it's really important that the most important thing, I think, is having a lot of fun. And before we get to the wine part, thank you, Doug. I'd like to ask Mia Daley, who is one of our youth ambassadors. Mia, can you pass me one of those boxes over there? Mia has actually, well, she's a youth ambassador. She's amazing. She's in the Miss Teen Rhode Island, thank you, competition. You'll see why when she starts talking. But she has created, this is her second fundraiser for Choose Love, and she has a card company. She is a teenager, and she's already raised over $1,000 for Choose Love. And now for Christmas, she's created these tins, of which I have a whole bunch here. And she is donating the profits to Choose Love. They're beautiful. Mia, do you want to tell us about them?
Absolutely. So like Scarlett said, this is my second fundraiser for Choose Love. And I'm very happy to say, just from our Christmas fundraiser, just today, about an hour ago, we reached $700, which is absolutely amazing. It was totally beyond my dreams. I'm so excited. Yeah, so if you would like to order some of our bundle boxes, you can email me at my small business email, which I can put in the chat. I started these because of my small business that I started about 4.5 years ago, which is Great Island Goods. I make handmade greeting cards. And then this past March, I started selling them and delivering them personally to our customers in Rhode Island, which is where I am from. And just from quarantine, we raised $1,000. We're hoping to hit our 2,000 mark pretty soon. So I'll show you some of our holiday cards right here. So one thing that's really unique about my business is I want to make each card different and as special as they can. So here are some of them right here. And if for shipping, the shipping takes about 2 days. So there's still time to order them. We are shipping till the 20th. So if you would like to order them, I will put my email in the chat below so you can order them. And 100% of the sales goes towards Choose Love. And in the box, there are 4 different cards, 3 regular kind of cute ones, and then a plaid one. And also you receive a really adorable gift tag, which you can put with your box. Because one thing that's awesome is that they're ready to go under the tree. And we have, you'll receive a joy ornament or any kind of cute little Christmas ornaments. This one right here. And they all come with envelopes. So the boxes are $15 each. And if you'd like to order them, I will leave my email right down below.
But wait, there's more. Mia, you pack so much value in one box. It's unbelievable.
Oh, thank you so much. And this organization is so amazing. So anything I can do to help, I will always definitely do it, because the story and the message is absolutely amazing.
Okay, thank you, Mia. Mia, how old are you?
I'm 14 years old. I just turned 14 in October.
Who are you?
Wow. 14 years old. And can you tell me why? I mean, you've been raising money for Choose Love. You're on ambassador calls. So that means that you attend meetings and you've spent hours. I mean, not just, and time, energy, money on Choose Love. Why? Why is it so important to you?
I think the whole story of Choose Love is just so touching. From Scarlett, everything that you have done, from the message that Jesse wrote on that chalkboard. When I first saw it through my school, I knew I wanted to help. I knew I wanted to raise as much money as I can. I knew I wanted to get it in as many schools across Rhode Island and across the country as I can, because, social and emotional learning, which is so important, can really save a life. And I bet if we had social emotional learning back in 2012, the shooting would have never happened. So if there is any way I can help and to save someone's life, I will absolutely do that.
Wow, Mia. Wow. I mean, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you for giving me this opportunity to do it. I absolutely love this movement and will do everything I can to help.
That's incredible. So we have kids. We have adults all across the country. Shannon is the director of our ambassador program. We have ambassadors now in about 45 states, and 5 coming on board, 5 different ones, 5 new ones coming on board tomorrow. We have an all-day training, and these are volunteers. This is really important. This has the ability to transform and save lives. In fact, the people that work here, we've seen it. We see the feedback that comes in. We see the transformation. We know the lives that we've saved, and there's not a feeling like that. So actually, the message that Jesse wrote on the kitchen chalkboard, which was nurturing, healing love, right before he was murdered in his first grade classroom almost 8 years ago. The message is right around the corner from me. I knew instantly that if the shooter had been able to give and receive nurturing, healing love, the tragedy would never have happened. It was as simple as that. Simple isn't always easy, and I didn't know what it meant. But now I know that it means providing social and emotional intelligence to all children, actually everyone. Our program is lifespan, and we can learn it at any age, because, by the way, when I learned what social emotional learning entailed, these simple, what are called essential life skills, I realized at 44 years old, I didn't have them. And I've learned them as an adult, and my life transformed. And it can transform your life as well. And if you're sitting there saying, you know what, I know all this, I've already got it up here. The thing is, we have to practice it. And it gives us the ability to choose our response, and we can choose love in all of our responses. It's really an incredible concept. And I just thank you all for being here. Thank you, Doug, for your courageous leadership for the last couple of years. We really appreciate you. Thank you, everybody that's on board. It's taken a lot of really professional people to get us to where we are right now. And we're going to keep going. So thank you so much.
I'd like to say a couple of words of a thank you.
Please, Stacy.
I'd like to show some gratitude to my good friend Mia. I met Mia on one of your calls. I believe it was an advocate call in the spring, and I was participating monthly. I started back last October. I met Scarlett at a PTA meeting with Sergeant Sarah, and we were new friends at the time. And I heard Scarlett's message, and I approached her at the end of the meeting and said, how can I help you spread this message and do more? And she said, we need an ambassador in New York. And a seed was planted and a full tree has grown, and I'm spreading seedlings through our community on a regular daily basis. And it is quite empowering. I really believe in the message. I'm marching to the mission and the beat from my heart. Mia really wowed me on the meeting, and she talked about her cards business. And I thought, wow, I could probably help her sell those cards. And I called her and we talked. And the next thing I know, she's sending me Zoom links, and we're meeting on Zoom, and she's leading the meeting. And in support at times was her dad for some ideas. And I had Eric join in the meeting. And the next thing I knew, she inspired us to create Eric's Courage Cards, named after the formula you see here, the great horned owl. Eric paints weekly in a group with an art teacher. He's the assistant. And
Eric is Stacy's son.
Eric, thank you, Scarlett. Scarlett was looking closer at the artwork again. Thanks, Sarah. So
that's why I'm here.
Eric paints weekly with a group, and it's called Animal Art. And over time, we decided to make cards, 4x6 prints of his art, and create cards and start selling them. I have them in 2 boutiques in our local village, and they're selling nicely in small packages of 4 cards a piece. Mia has completely inspired this.
And you didn't bring this? This was mine.
I didn't bring this by coincidence. It was a spontaneous idea to show the card. This one is here in Sarah's house because she's the smart one. I sent her the owl. And on my cards, they all have labels. Sarah had showed the back of the card, and it says inspired by Mia Daley. So thank you, Mia. This has given a wonderful set of life skills to Eric. He's not exactly a businessman quite yet, but he is on the production line, gluing the cards, folding the card stock, and making the bundles and tying the ribbon. And it's really important. You know, work ethic, you can't learn too young. And that's a wonderful message. Eric was procured by our good friends in the main office, Pamela and Alexis, to create a painting for the holiday. This may be a preliminary viewing for some of you on our call. This is Frosty the Snowman, as Eric said. Here's the original painting. And we made those into some cards that will be used for coming out the mail from the Choose Love movement. So we're very proud. If you can't see the small words, Eric wrote the formula, the Choose Love formula around the border. Courage plus gratitude plus forgiveness plus compassion in action equals Choose Love. We're super proud of that.
Gorgeous. Oh my gosh, I love it.
That's our favorite cantor, Jeff, with a smile and showing his love.
Just call, borrow a Jew. I'm here.
But you know, our parties are for all faiths.
I'm just kidding. It's Hanukkah, so they just borrowed me.
We have potato latkes to share. Sorry, we can't send them all to you, but
I'm kidding.
Jeff will join us for something special in just a couple more minutes. I want to plug the youth ambassadors just one more time. So Mia participates with a strong group under the guidance and leadership of Shannon, our ambassador leader. And my older son, Jason, is one of the lead youth ambassadors on the group. We call the 6-pack the founding youth ambassadors. And Scarlett, that's a highlight for our movement this year. When we look back in a dark year and what's gone on and what's still going on and challenges that we're facing. I'm so proud to say that I became an ambassador. It's a beacon of light in my heart. It's been something that's been really positive for myself. I've learned a lot of lessons from you. I've embraced the lesson of forgiveness, which is really hard. It's really hard. That takes a lot of work. I'm good to be courageous. I'm good to have gratitude all the time. It takes a lot of work to dig and find forgiveness. There's some dark spaces in some of that. And so thank you, because you've really helped me think that through in ways that I really wasn't aware of. So to come back to the real strong positive point, as a movement, we have done some positive things this year in dark times. We're shining light on schools. You created with your team a Brave New World unit that enhances and embellishes the already wonderful program and curriculum we've implemented in 50 states and in 110 countries. We've grown 20 more countries this year. When I joined the movement, it was 90. And I think that we have a lot to be proud of. So tonight, I raise my glass to toast to the accomplishments and the light we continue to shine on each other as a team and on the world. Cheers.
Cheers.
Well done.
Cheers. Thank you, Stacy. We're so blessed to have you.
So
And your
next up,
family.
oh, sorry, go ahead. Go ahead, Scarlett.
You give her a little wine, she starts taking over.
No, you said it all. That was perfect. Thank you.
I want to also give a shout out to Mary Pat. Scarlett, you may remember our good friend from the Orange County leadership team under County Executive Steve Newhouse. Our good friend Mary Pat is on our call tonight joining us. I think we also have our good friend Ingrid Lucas. She's a speech and language pathologist. My circles have come concentric with her years later. She worked with me and Eric, my younger son, with some therapy many years ago, and it's been wonderful to rekindle our friendship. And we have some other great friends on as well. We're welcoming everyone. I think my good friend Megan is tuning in as a listener. She's learning her technology, so I just want to give her a quick shout out. Hi, Eve. We have our good friend Eve here tonight. She's Eric's best friend, and Anthony as well, her brother.
Nice.
You want to wave, Eve, to some of the friends? Thank you.
You didn't? Tell them you denied pasta tonight.
Your good friend Ingrid. So Sarah is going to tell us a little bit more about our fundraiser next, which is exciting. And that's the reason that we came here together tonight, to taste, to toast. Oh, my mistake. I'm having an agenda kerfluw.
Right.
We are going to celebrate the second night of Hanukkah next. And this is
something?
where, yes, my good friend Cantor
So-
Jeff would like to say a few
I will
words.
carefully edit myself. No, all kidding aside.
We have all adults, Jeff. You're
I
good.
know. But it's very appropriate that on the second night of Hanukkah, it's a celebration of the Festival of Light. And what this organization is symbolic of is about hope and light and future. So in times of darkness, which is what part of the holiday of Hanukkah was about, it brought hope through that simple story of in the face of adversity, in the face of destruction, during the Maccabean times, that we were able to restore the light to the great temple of Solomon at the time. So the miracle we celebrate tonight of Hanukkah sheds the light for the hope in the future. And so I'm going to say the 3 prayers to shed light for the holiday tonight, and also shed light and I came here wanting to give that light to you and this organization. So if you're ready, I will be happy to light the Hanukkah candles, and I like sharing that. And by the way, I'm not really a cantor, I'm just Sarah's friend. So 1 second, let me come up.
Oh, wait, Anthony, wait.
Let me.
There's a hole?
That was a burst
Like
of
this
Jewish
one,
guilt
and
for
this
anyone
one.
that might have enjoyed
Like
that.
just
Thanks, Jeff.
Just like what is called the shamash.
The sham.
I know.
Okay.
Okay, 1 moment.
Wait, Anthony,
Let me
Anthony.
do this.
Thank you,
You're
buddy.
lighting the shamus, and then Eric is going to illuminate
Now, the way we light the order, no, don't light it yet.
Wait.
We have to wait till we say- Yes.
Wish us luck, guys.
It's gonna say the prayer.
One second, this candle is having a problem.
You're
here.
such a mom.
You're such a mom.
That's what moms are supposed to be. They're supposed to be moms.
A miracle.
Okay, so here we are. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Hanukkah. Would you like the first candle over here? Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asa nisim lavotenu bayamim hahem mazman hazeh. And because on the first night of Hanukkah, we usually give a special blessing, but this is the first annual wine tasting, so I'm going to do the Shehecheyanu. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Shehecheyanu v'kiyamanu v'higiyanu lazman hazeh Shehecheyanu v'kiyamanu v'higiyanu lazman hazeh Shehecheyanu v'kiyamanu v'higiyanu Shehecheyanu v'kiyamanu v'higiyanu Shehecheyanu lazman hazeh Shehecheyanu v'kiyamanu v'higiyanu Shehecheyanu v'kiyamanu v'higiyanu Shehecheyanu lazman hazeh laziman hazeh. And that's before drinking. Cheers!
L'chaim.
L'chaim, and this wonderful event tonight. Dreidel, yes, you could play
Jeff,
dreidel.
you're on mute the whole time. I don't think they heard it.
I'm not doing it again.
The comedy is purely spontaneous.
It
everyone,
is.
just so
Anthony,
you know.
I love. It is.
You're
Bring
blocking
it. You can bring it into the other
Good
room
job.
and celebrate your
Okay.
new religion. Okay? Hey,
Baby's first Hanukkah.
fire
buddy.
computers. Thank you, sweetie.
So thank
you can
you.
hit that light again. Okay. Thank you for coming, Jeff. That was
My
wonderful.
pleasure. So
If
now
you
we'll,
want-
now I'm just gonna drink a little bit.
Yes. So I think Scarlett can tell me what's next on the agenda, although, you know, Stacy's good at letting us know what she thinks is next too.
I think you are, Sarah.
Is it me? Okay, so I think I'm gonna eventually share my screen, and I'm hoping this works out all right. So, share. Okay, are we seeing? Yes, I think we are. Well, I just love the artwork that was put together, so I have to thank everybody again. And I know I didn't get to say thank you to some of the participants who logged on tonight, even just supporting me. Ginnell, I see you. She's on the special education PTA board that welcomed Choose Love to Monroe Woodbury and started this. Ginnell, I think it's because of all this that we came here tonight. And of course, my friend Ingrid and Tina from far away. Allison, I love you. Thank you for coming. This means a lot to me. Kelly, I can't even have words to tell you how much it means for me to see you here. So I'm sure there's some I'm missing and I just haven't seen your faces yet in the little block, but I'm excited to have little rugrats running around right now. Off of that part, you're gonna knock it over. Eve, get off of it, please, thank you. We might need to adjust that. I will take one. Can you just move the camera a little bit? And the reason that I think this is so interesting is that nonprofits have not been able to raise funds for a long time now. And what are we doing? And we're all kind of home. And honestly, a lot of us are drinking at home. So I was introduced to this idea by Ingrid that, well, we're drinking wine anyway. We don't want to go to the liquor store. I'm going to get right to you in 1 second. She waited for me to start talking. Everybody knows that. And we thought that having a wine tasting or some way to bring people together virtually would be really exciting. And the Choose Love movement means a lot to me because I've watched my friend Stacy become more involved in it. And I'm 22 years in the military. I'm a yoga instructor, and my son has been through 8 different schools, and I can tell you these schools do not have social emotional learning. And some of my friends that are on this call know the struggle I've been through. His social worker, Nicole, is on this call, and when she visited us today, I made her leave with several books. I'm sure she could chime in and laugh. The Explosive Child, Lost in School, and all these resources that I've been building and become a better person. So there's no organization that I could think of that would be better to do my first night like this than with yours, Scarlett. So thank you for taking a chance on this and giving it a shot, because it's a much deeper thing. And if you get Stacy's emails daily or hourly, and I'm in the middle of 3 different things, and she's like, you have to do the gratitude moment. We added you to the list. I'm like, I know gratitude. I teach meditation. It's not the same as being told every day to stop and take a minute and it's not the same. So I just want to say how much I believe in it and how proud I am to be here to share some of it with you. So I was inspired by the November, the 30 days, and I had the calendar, and I decided that some of our wine that we chose tonight, everybody's abandoned me. Look at this. They're all just eating. Look at,
I'm
they
getting,
just
I'm getting Eve's pasta.
Okay.
There you go. Helping the kid.
I didn't know I was in this alone.
Well, there's potato latkes. That's
Oh,
what
that's
what
right.
can you do?
Yep.
We're creating our own movement.
So what I wanted to show is that with the wines that we chose, some of you have seen them already, is that they have certain tastes that everybody can try, but that they pair well with certain dishes. But I also picked a certain calendar day that they pair well with as well. These were our facts that Eric wanted everybody to take a minute to review for the 10 Did You Know About Hanukkah by Eric. So if everybody wants to take a minute and review the hard work he put into it. Oh, here comes Jeff to fact check.
What do we got? Want to read it? Oh, there we are.
That's a lot.
I don't have my reading glasses.
We'll make sure this presentation is available for all, but it was a really nice thing that he put together for us to include in our slide presentation. And we thank him, and of course his inspirational mom. So I hope this plays nicely, but this is just a quick story about why I started working with Ingrid and this company called One Hope. So I hope you can hear it, and I think this will work.
I had thought about the idea of building a brand that all year round was making an impact. I thought it was kind of gimmicky that these companies would do a 1-month campaign and then it would be over. And so from a business perspective,
Thumbs
I
up
said,
if you
why
can
not
hear it.
do it longer? And from a personal perspective, I said, you know,
Great.
we should be doing a lot more.
By producing high quality wines that our community want to serve and our customers want to purchase over and over again, that maximizes the value that we can bring to our cause entrepreneurs, which maximizes the impact that we can make on the world. That's why we were so proud and excited to have a winemaker as accomplished and critically acclaimed as Mari Wells Coyle decide to leave a well-established brand like Sterling Vineyards to join us at One Hope as our exclusive director of wine.
I believe our wines compete with the best in Napa Valley. They're approachable, flavorful, and so delicious, and they're a great value for the price point.
Since 2007, sales of One Hope products have helped fund over 2.4 million meals to children in need, empowered 9,000 veterans to provide natural disaster relief, helped over 64,000 animals find a forever home, and so much more. We're really proud of the impact we've been able to make, and we owe it all to our cause entrepreneurs and the One Hope community for choosing to support One Hope.
The fact that One Hope is able to give back to so many people is truly life-changing. I see it in my day-to-day, and I see it in the way that I'm able to donate to so many causes that are important to other people, not just myself.
We have already been able to give over $4 million to our nonprofit partners, and that number is growing every single day.
The difference with One Hope is that you get to continue making a positive impact in people's lives. And that's something I think is really special to be a part of and sharing the joy with people when you're doing good and providing good memories.
We have a business model that empowers a community of entrepreneurs who want to make an impact in their local communities and around the world, while also making a financial impact in their own homes on their own terms. Whether your goal is to pay for dance lessons, take your family on vacation, or make a full-time income, One Hope is an opportunity, and it's meant to be flexible and personal to support whatever your goals are.
So I joined One Hope 3.5 years ago to make an impact on the world, but I really feel that it's made a great impact on my life. The income here has been everything that I could ever want. I joined One Hope as a single mom who just was looking for extra income to help my daughter and I with our necessities. And it has actually turned into a full-time income for us.
Together, we're changing people's lives while changing the world.
Now we just have to figure out how to make it stop making sense.
I had thought about the idea of building a brand that all year round was making an impact.
Hold on,
I thought
buddy.
it was kind of gimmicky that these companies.
For those of you joining, this is just a really good kind of quick, I'm going to say quick, I'm going to use that loosely because we'll probably be here for about half hour, maybe a little bit longer, because there's just, it depends on how deep dive that we go with some of the information. But I did a little presentation so we could.
Okay, so I think she was trying to share some more information with us. All right, can I get this? Okay, so let's see if I can get this to play from current slide. All right, so this is something that I thought that I wanted to put in here for everybody. We can all see it. And this is a virtual way of honoring how we're gonna have a lot of fun. And it just means a lot to Stacy, and it means a lot to me to learn the story behind it. So I just wanted to make sure that everybody knew why we were here tonight. We're talking about a lot of heavy stuff, and that this little note has a profound impact on all of us. So thank you for sharing it with us, Scarlett. Stacy wants to say something.
I do, you can tell,
yep,
right?
You hear the breath.
Well, Scarlett taught me a phrase, which I use it in every training that I'm sitting in and every meeting that I join her on a webinar. And it's that Jessie recruited me. And I'm honored to say my message. And I think that Jessie left this message for us, have a lot of fun, which is a message my dad has been saying to me for years. And I carry this message in my heart from my dad, but I have continued to foster that in my Choose Love work. So thank you, Jessie, for recruiting me. And I love this message. I've put it on my screen behind me sometimes in meetings when we're training, which is fun. So have a lot of fun, everybody. Cheers.
Oh, we're going to do another cheers. I'm not sure what everybody chose to their first glass, but there we go. So the first choice that we had was the Pinot Grigio, and some of you have been able to have that show up already. Really exciting to have a delivery come to your door. This is a crisp acidity to it, and you can actually taste a little tint of nectarine in the bottle. But what's nice and fancy is, although Stacy doesn't think she knows as much about wine, when you get these bottles, the back label, if you turn it a little bit, it tells you what it pairs well with. It tells you what hints you'll notice in it. It tells you what to look for. And then it also tells you that this particular bottle of wine, each bottle sold goes toward a forever home for an animal. So if you like Pinot Grigio and you're drinking it anyway, now you're doing it for a purpose. And they like to say pouring with a purpose.
This pairs well, for those of you that want to know, with lemon chicken, key lime pie, and faded blue jeans.
So we also thought, and this might be a little bit longer of a video, but it was something that I pulled from Scarlett, your November Days of Gratitude, and I wanted to share it. I'm going to skip over this little video about the wine because we're already drinking it. We're good. If you like white, this is your bottle. We're going to move on to something as to why we're here. And I think this is a little bit more important. I don't know where this red mark came from, but I can erase that later.
I'm asking you to make a donation right now to help flip Georgia and the Senate. Reverend Raphael Warnock and John Ossoff need our help more than ever before to win these critical runoff elections in Georgia.
Woo! Let's see. So we got one. You can close the chat box on that, Stace.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. So now I'm going to resume share and let's see if you guys see what I'm looking at.
Somebody just space invader our meeting or what?
Who knows, right? In these days?
That was a hacker.
No. Okay. Everybody thumbs up, right? We see him.
Having fun, hanging out with friends, delicious food, making money. Well, consider this. Psychologists have scientifically proven that one of the greatest contributing factors to overall happiness in your life is how much gratitude you show. Yeah? Think about that. Go ahead and marinate on it for a second. You can thank me later if you want. It'll make you feel better according to this study. You go ahead and click on it and read it if you want. Or you can keep watching because we read it. We thought it might be fun to test out for ourselves. We gathered a selection of volunteers to act as our subjects. First, we gave them a test. They didn't know what we were looking for, but it gave us a pretty good idea of their current level of happiness. We asked them to close their eyes and think of somebody who was really influential in their life, somebody who did something really amazing or important for them.
So I'm going to pause it here and just what he's doing here. This is, like I said, one of the longer pieces I'm going to share, but just take a moment on your own to think about somebody that he's describing and then listen as he goes into the next part.
We had them write down as much as they could about why this person was so important. Now, a lot of them thought at this point the experiment was over until we really put them on the spot and tried to get them to call that person and read what they wrote about them. Jessica, we're going to have you call your mother. So who was that right person for you?
Person is my sister, Erica.
We're going to give Erica a call.
Okay.
Who'd you end up picking?
Friend of mine, Craig Ains. Her name is Dora.
My college accounting instructor.
Really? Is this somebody you're still in touch with today?
No, I'm assuming that he's passed on.
That's a shame.
Great beyond.
You up for it?
Yes.
What would you say if we called up Dora?
Oh, well, we can try, but she lives in Britain.
In Britain?
Oh, no, never by heart, dude. This is awful.
That's fine. I don't know my mom's number by heart.
If it's true that those who are going on are looking down on us, maybe he realized it is great.
Hey, sweetheart.
Hey, how you doing?
Yes.
You got a second? Where you at, in the hotel?
I am. I'm in the hotel. You scared me. Or you have to have a second something's wrong.
No, I'm on like this little TV show, and they told me to talk about the person that influenced me the most, and I picked you, and they're making me call you. They're making me call you.
Oh, wonderful!
Hi, you've reached Craig. I'm not here right now.
At the tone, please record your message.
No, come on.
Hello?
Hi. Erica, it's me.
All right, so I got to read you this paragraph. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Go ahead, sweetheart.
All right, the person that influenced me the most would be my mother, Marlo Dawson. She is a single mother of 2. She is a very hard worker and dedicated to her family.
Hey, Craig, this is Loie. This is going to be a funny little voicemail, so I hope you enjoy it. I'm so sorry for calling you at 4 o'clock in the morning. I have to read this to you, okay? And you can't say anything, or I don't know. You can respond, but I probably will just keep going. Okay?
Is everything okay?
Yes, but I have to read this out loud to you.
The person who has had the biggest impact on my life outside of Jesus Christ, who is responsible for my existence, was my college accounting instructor. He had a joy and enthusiasm for his job like no other teacher I have ever known.
I love her to death, and she keeps me going with positive talk. She is a woman that knows what she wants and won't give up until it is achieved.
Oh, something. I don't know what. I'm about to cry because it's so beautiful. I have to say that's just wonderful.
I first met Craig on an independent feature film set in Whitefish, Montana. I recently have been sending Craig a lot of positive thoughts as he suffered a series of health problems. Despite his medical problems, he's continued to work and take pleasure in the small things in life, like sitting quietly with his wife Janine on the porch. Erica is my older sister and my best friend. Sometimes it even feels like we are twins. She's my #1 fan and my #1 supporter. She makes me happy because despite all my mistakes and my decisions, she still loves me no matter what. Your friendship is everything. And you are one of the most important person in my life. Even when she has a kid and many children, I will love her more than her kids. Okay, maybe not. I will never forget when she flew 3,000 miles at the drop of a phone call to save me from a breakup.
I'm being blessed by having a son like you. I love you.
Bye.
Why did you do that to me?
I don't know because they made me do it. Thank you for picking up. Bye, sweetie. And then they're like, here, you're going to write this letter. And then I wrote like this whole long ass letter, which, you know, I like don't write. And then all of a sudden they're like, hey, guess what? Now we're going to call her and you're going to read her this letter. I was like, what the
No, you guys don't have to write a letter now.
Before we let them go, we gave our subjects one more happiness test. Now, we mixed up and rephrased the questions so they didn't know they were taking the same test twice. For those who took the time to actually write something down but couldn't make the phone call for whatever reason, we saw happiness increase between 2 and 4%. It's good, but not exactly mind-blowing. Now, for those who actually picked up the phone and personally expressed their gratitude, we saw increases between 4 and 19%.
Wow.
So either way, expressing your gratitude will make you a happier person. But you want to know something really interesting? The person who experienced the biggest jump in happiness was the least happy person who walked in the door. What does that mean? That means if you're having a particularly tough time, trying this out will more likely have a greater impact on you. Trust me. I'm in a lab coat. In fact, while you're at it, film it and upload it to us, and we'll do something awesome with it. I'm Julian, and this has been The Science of Happiness.
Okay, so I picked that video and now I have to figure out how to go back to PowerPoint while I talk and delay. But Scarlett, I just really loved everything about those days. And I knew it was 7 minutes and today, and I do a lot of PR stuff. I mean, the 7-minute video, oh my God, I'm sorry I did that to you guys. But I really think that there's a lot to get from it. And I wrote some things down about that video. As we have friends and we have family, right? But he said his accounting teacher. So imagine what this movement could do for a teacher who has a kid that's just having a hard time. It took one teacher. So now I'm gonna get all teary-eyed, and the more we drink, like I'm gonna be a mess by the end of this. But
I'm here.
but he's here. He's here. And I think, you know, we have our friends we get to choose. We have our family we don't get to choose. But that teacher, you just never know when that person's gonna come up, and you never know what it's gonna be that inspires a person like that to make such a change. So I think that Pinot Grigio pairs well with letting someone know how grateful you are for them. That's just one. That's just one. Don't worry, I didn't forget the red. We're getting to red. Like,
well, first let's have a white toast.
Oh yeah, if you have the white poured, or if you have, they're making fun of me because I think I'm drinking it too. There's our Philip. Another toast.
Philip toast.
He needs a refill.
He needs a refill.
Do you want a refill?
Do you want the white, or we'll wait till we open the next? And this is, if you notice, this is a twist cap, and the twist cap actually helps keep the wine fresher longer, which is a nice characteristic of it. But we have some higher collections that you will find a cork with. All of that information we can send in the link when I can multitask a little bit better. But these were the ones that we chose for tonight's tasting. And the second one being the Cabernet Sauvignon. So I don't know if we have any red drinkers. I know for a fact some of you should be raising your hands right now. And then this is what we picked. Stacy can bring that over. And here's some of the hints that you might taste. Is the black cherry. There might be a hint of chocolate that you notice there, or even taste the vanilla. Better yet, you could even just have chocolate and vanilla with it, but it does pair well with, Stacy.
Oh, I'm sampling. Just a moment.
Imperative. Thank you.
Eve, go look in your room. Bird's in the bed.
Cheers.
L'chaim.
I hope to speak to my man Shabbat.
Does anyone mix red and white?
You could, and then you would have a rosé.
I'm very nervous about this over the computer.
Okay, so look, I'm going to show a little trick.
Please show.
So as you're pouring, you can just pour a little bit and stop. Oh, that didn't go well. And you twist.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. So if you want another cup, or
I'm just gonna answer your original question now that I'm available. Oh, this is fantastic. Not so much for me, the first part, because I choose not to enjoy beef anymore, but beef fillet, for those of you that enjoy that, pairs well with baklava.
Oh boy.
To my Greek friends out there, a fabulous treat. New haircuts.
Well, that's for me.
New haircuts. Yeah, that's right. Absolutely.
There you go.
And Chardets.
I don't know.
Not sure.
Say it like
All
you
right.
know what it is.
Chardets.
There we go.
It's a delicious fruit.
It is delicious. So this one I'm going to share because I personally, and my friend Ingrid and Allison and actually Tina, everybody that does know me well knows that my personal favorite drink is very cheap champagne. I have to be honest. It really is. I'm a big cheap champagne. My friend Andre, I call him, but I really got excited to learn more about wine with this company. And so I thank Ingrid for bringing me into it. They teach you a lot about the growing techniques, the soil, the berries and things like that, the grapes they're using. And it's just very interesting. So this one I did pick.
Called the king of red grapes.
Let me close her over here, but yes. Let's see if she will bring this up this way.
Called the king of red grapes, the Cabernet Sauvignon grape is the most popular red in California. Originally from France, the fruit has been cultivated for generations to craft some of the most world-renowned reds in the Bordeaux wine region. The grape grows best in Mediterranean climates, with influence from the sea. The warm days and cool nights in California ripen this grape to perfection. As you sip, you'll notice rich, indulgent flavors like black cherry, chocolate, and hints of vanilla. And it pairs perfectly with a fillet of beef, baklava, and even rosemary popcorn. Better yet, every bottle supports ABA therapy for children with autism.
Somewhere on your bed.
If you love this wine, you'll also love our Vintner Collection California Red Blend, our Napa Valley Reserve Cabernet Sauvignon, and our iconic collection red wines. Cheers. Called the king of red grape.
All right, we can stop with the grapes. Now we got to figure out the PowerPoints. I'm sorry, guys. Thanks for dealing with usually I'm pretty good at this stuff, but here is what I thought our Cabernet Sauvignon would pair well with, is the loving thoughts and taking time to indulge in the things that make you feel good. So that might be a Cabernet for you. I really liked this slide and wanted to bring up its link as well.
It also has very good legs.
It has great legs, it does.
Hi, Choose Love friends. You know, our loving thought for today is going to be on art, because while we're sheltering in love, it's really important that we indulge ourselves in things that can make us feel good. And for Jesse and I, that was definitely art. I'm sitting next to Jesse's easel in here that I actually have in my bedroom now. And he spent hours painting. This was actually his last painting that he was working on. I thought that I would share a few of our paintings for the rest of this little short video, but also share a quote by Winston Churchill. Happy are the painters, for they shall not be lonely. Light and color, peace and hope will keep them company to the end. Enjoy.
So I chose this one as I paint with my children, and we do wine, we do paint and sips, and I always have to say, don't worry, they're not drinking the wine, at least not that I can see, but we have quite a collection, and we paint the same images, so it's very funny to see. But doing something that you enjoy, and even if this is something that inspires you to do it with your kids or with friends, you can do it with YouTube. You can look on YouTube for a video and share that video. And we have paintings here, but I've done it with Ingrid's kids. We have really, I think it's such a special thing you can do. And for some reason, the red wine made me think of something nice that we could do as a paint and sip. So that's where we got that from. I have to be sure to close these or they're going to start doing commercials or some political announcement. So
Oh, that was the hacker. Got it.
Maybe. Now, so this one will get a little bit more involved, and I'll probably help Stacy open this. So this is above my pay grade, just because I like the whole Andre deal, but it's actually a very reasonable champagne. It's 10% off this week, and the more that you buy, obviously, the bigger the discounts that there are. And this is the Sparkling Brut, and I think it's $25. It's on sale for $22. I like to buy a case just in case, you know, New Year's is coming up. And one thing I would like to do, and I'm gonna make Stacy show this too, I got these neat little light up things, is you could get the sparkling etched bottles, and you could get a case and give them to the teachers. If everybody's stuck doing virtual remote learning, you know, they may not be allowed to accept alcohol, but I'm gonna slip it to them, because if anybody deserves some, it's them this season. So there's still time to use this fundraiser as a chance to go through some of the shimmering bottles, the glittery collection, or all the sparkling wines, but they say grateful, they say happy holidays. And it is a wonderful champagne. So I'm gonna give everybody a minute, whoever has the champagne, if they do wanna open it. If you don't wanna open it and you wanna save it, please feel free to save it. Stacy, would you like me to open it?
I would, thank you for offering.
Okay.
And at this time, I have another comment to make.
Well, come over here and you can talk right into the mic.
Sure, let's switch. Oh
my goodness.
The party's getting more,
it is.
More
Are we up to
festivus.
Are we up to the third glass?
We're gonna switch.
It's time.
So to go back a bottle, the Cabernet.
Oh, I missed what that was for, yes.
The Cabernet donates money to ABA therapy and autism
And look here.
therapy. I'm looking over there.
Yep, look over.
I need a tip from my technology expert here. Oh, my glasses are glaring. Sorry. Does anybody else have that? Do you have an empathizer in the audience where your glasses are making glare on the Zoom call? So, the autism is special to me. I love that when Sarah mentioned to me she had chose this. Different therapists have really influenced me over the years. For those of you that don't know me, my younger son, Eric, is high functioning autism on the spectrum, and I think that that's a unique place for me in the mission and the movement for Choose Love, where I collaborate with our teams. I talk to Scarlett and Shannon and the educators that are building our curriculum. I speak to our web designer, Nicole, from the bottom of my heart with strategies and suggestions on how we can make sure our programming is available for all learners and all classroom settings. So if you're a student that's nonverbal, that needs more pictures, if you're a student that needs more repetition, needs the material broken down into smaller parts so that you can effectively receive the message from the teacher and be the best learner you can be, I'm bringing that knowledge and that emphasis from my heart to the table. And I say this often when we're on calls with educators so that everyone feels comfortable implementing our lessons and that they all have the opportunity to be adaptable to all classroom settings. So if you're an educator or you know one, or you're looking to spread our message, or you have any questions, you want to collaborate with me on any ideas, that's a place in this position that is near and dear to my heart because I live that story. So Sarah, thank you for making that choice.
And then we'll explain maybe for a second just why the ABA therapy is so important for children with autism. And it's not even just, my son has been through so much, and we've worked with ABA therapists too. I think it's interesting to look at a social emotional learning curriculum, and then to have the background of what you've been through and what I've been through with my family, and to understand even what ABA therapy is.
Well, ABA stands for Applied Behavioral Analysis, and it's a therapy that works through repetition to be able to teach a child a skill or help a child turn a challenge into a strength through behavior modification and positive reinforcement.
Now I stop you right there. So as adults with the Choose Love movement, I don't know if you can see that correlation between what we're trying to do and what Scarlett's trying to get us to do every day with these gratitude moments, that she's trying to change adult behavior. So in essence, I think we've modified ABA therapy and we've taken the word children out of it and just said people. You know, this is something that I think once you get it, you keep reminding yourself it's not something to skip each day. The repetitive nature of gratitude and love is something that I think that touches everybody, and that's why you have such success with this organization.
Great metaphor, Sarah.
I try. That's why I got the owl card.
This is all spontaneous.
This is.
We're doing great.
Wait till I drink this whole bottle.
You got your champagne ready?
I am ready.
I hope everyone's having fun. We have live music
I got this.
to close us out in just a little while. Stand by. What? Did you hear that sound? That was so authentic.
See? He's so proud of
That
me.
was such a party moment.
Well, I
Sarge.
hope it wasn't an inappropriate moment. Was it good?
It was good. Yeah, I enjoyed that sound. That was a party sound.
Okay.
I'm seeing some nods on the screen.
Oh, yeah, good.
I party with some of these friends. I've not met everyone, but we had a concert back in April with our great friend Doug Allen, who's a friend of the movement and a cherished friend with Scarlett over the years. And I know that some of us enjoyed his live music then. We'll close out our show tonight.
We're not closing.
Our party
You're
a little
talking
bit
too much.
later.
Hold on. Let's see what's this next. There you go. Here's our slides.
Now we're going to dig into the champagne.
Right, the
Are you
champagne
ready?
profile.
Take it away, Sarge.
Oh. Philip's ready.
Philip is ready.
Oh my.
And he cleansed the glass and everything. You're really hardcore about this. I
Well,
admire
yeah,
that.
it's probably part of mother's milk.
All those of you who know me personally very well, shh, on the champagne stories. So, as it says here, this is just it's a wonderful champagne. I mean, it just tastes. It's a light tasting. I think I made some notes here about it. The citrus, the apple pairs well with melon, fish and chips, and my level potato chips. So we did have a little video here, which I like this video as well. I think it helps me say a lot more when I go to my trusty YouTube sometimes. And we hope that it pulls it off for me. Yeah. And this one's a little longer because it's our last one, but it's fun.
Here at One Hope, we are committed to ending childhood hunger. Every bottle of our California Sparkling Root sold funds meals for children in need. The dot pattern on this label represents the 1 in 7 children who do not know where their next meal will come from. Now let's open a bottle, pour a glass, and go through the core tasting notes. The 4 key descriptors for this wine: tropical aromas, green apple, ripe pear, and refreshing bubbles. Now, how do we talk about these notes? We begin with the aromas, or the nose of the wine. You'll want to swirl the wine, get your nose in it, make sure to start high and work your way down.
Oh. Let me try that. Did you swivel this?
You'll notice that this wine features tropical aromas on the nose, such as banana and pineapple, leading into pear and peach. Now the taste. When you taste, make sure to swirl the wine and try to coat your entire mouth.
All right, coat your entire mouth, everybody. He said to. It's science.
The palate is full of green apple and peach. The California Sparkling Root has a crisp, bubbly, and refreshing finish that will leave you wanting more. Now let's raise a glass to end childhood hunger.
Cheers. It was my job to do that.
Eve, I'll find Bird in 2 minutes.
My name is.
Okay, Bubba.
Thank you for being patient. Ask Eric to help you.
Yep.
Eve. Ask Eric.
So how am I going to put Scarlett on the spot here? And how did I figure out that this is what spoke to me with my champagne choice tonight? And I hope she agrees. And I'll play this little video for you guys, as this is our last celebratory choice for the evening. Then we can talk a little bit about if you're interested in anything else and sharing the links. Once I said I can be a little bit better with multitasking. But I just think it's nice to have this time with all of you, and that you're tolerating my back and forth screen. And it's just been, it means a lot to me. So I hope that doing the recap, a lot of you probably seen these videos, but for me and for those of you who joined because of me and this is your first time, this is why I've been such a pain in the ass about pushing it. And even though I did the yoga thing and I did the meditation thing, now I have Stacy, who's always like, even if I'm in the middle of, I can't even tell you what I'm working on. She's like, what are you doing? I know you're busy, but you need to go on and do this right now. Be grateful, damn it. You need to do it right now. And I'm like, oh, I can't even write her back. Why does she keep bothering me? And as soon as I do it, something better happens. So that's why it means so much to me. So here's the video, and this is what I use to celebrate our group.
I'm 55 years old. I've raised 3 amazing kids. I built a beautiful business. I've had a great life. I'm blessed for being a 2-time stage 4 cancer survivor. I have an autoimmune disease that the doctors told me I have 5 years to live. Life has blessed me with many, what people would say, hardships. I call them blessings because the story's not over. And every little hardship that they say can turn into an amazing victory that can solidify your soul even stronger, that you can touch other people with your new story. This is just an acceptance of the situation, a lot of gratitude, and this is the outcome from it.
So here's the problem. It's the holidays. You're excited. You want to be there for your family, for your friends. You want to take it all in. And yet, then there's this other challenge, which is there are all these stresses around us, and we all are born with a 2 million-year-old brain. A brain that's always looking to protect us from something wrong. A brain that's looking for what's wrong. And of course, what's wrong is always available. You know, there's always some challenge to be faced, always something to be concerned about, something to be stressed about, something to be frustrated about, something to be worried about. But you know what? What's wrong is always available, so is what's right. Gratitude is the one emotion that is the antidote to what messes up our life. There's so many emotions that mess us up, but if you had to pick the 2 primary ones that mess up relationships, mess up your career, mess up your happiness, what are they? Fear, and on the other side, anger. This holiday, it's time to activate gratitude. Have you ever had a moment that was just a total sacred moment or a gift that you could feel grateful for? Or maybe a moment you met someone, you were going one place, you met someone you totally loved, or maybe the love of your life today. Just take a moment and think about this. And if you really want to have a completely different holiday, then what you want to do is train your brain to look for what's right. Train your brain to appreciate. Why not just have a daily practice of at least finding 3 things you can feel grateful for? And don't think about an intellectual. Actually step in your body and focus on it like you're back in that moment. It could be a moment from 20 years ago, 10 years ago. It could be from today. But let the power of gratitude roll over you and battle the one thing that gets in the way, that law of familiarity. The law of familiarity says if you're around anything enough, you tend to take it just a little bit for granted. It's human nature. And the way to stop that is stop, feel it, and appreciate it. Let your consciousness, your heart, your soul guide you instead of your head and your mind. That will change the holidays, and that will change your life.
I know, I need a little bit of a tissue there.
Yeah, here's my sleeve.
Everybody likes your jacket though.
It's super absorbent.
So Scarlett, that's the end of the 3 choices I had. If you want to let people speak and see if they've tasted some of the wines we've sent out and if they have things to share, I appreciate this opportunity. I hope that I was able to incorporate my thoughts and the passion that I felt from Stacy. And it's so funny being part of our special education board. She does not have it, I promise. And Ginnell, you know just how things come full circle, right? And having our Monroe Woodbury School District choose love and having it come to the county, and Mary Pat's here too, and just watching that come, and even with all of this in my face, even with it every day, like, yeah, here's the agenda, Ginnell, here's the budget, you know? And here's Stacy just still letting me know, all right, but don't forget the meaning of what we're doing here. So when I made this presentation, my salesy presentation, I was more concerned with letting everybody see how those things tie together for me. And I hope that did that for you. And I'm really thankful that you're here and everybody's gotten a chance to taste whatever you're drinking. And for those of you that have had wine delivered to your door, let me know. Now's your time. Yes. Well, Stacy's telling me to encourage feedback, so please don't disappoint.
Well, I want to say, Sarah, thank you so much. Stacy, thank you for introducing us to Sarah. And Sarah, this was just really special and fun. It's not like anything we've ever done before.
Oh, good.
And,
Me neither.
I love wine. I'm a big wine drinker, so I appreciate it. And I was writing in the chat boxes. That's why we have our own special wine glasses with nurturing, healing, love on one side and have a lot of fun on the other. So I wanted to highlight those. We sell those on our e-store. And just to say, you know, I think that we need to realize how powerful we are as human beings. We're here for a reason. Each and every one of us has a purpose, and we can do a lot. And by the way, we have to. We, you know, just listening on the bottle saying that 1 in 5 kids doesn't know where their next meal is coming from, when there's so much money in this country. And I mean, that's our responsibility. And you know, you read about all of the issues that are escalating now: domestic violence, suicide, substance abuse, loneliness. Loneliness was an epidemic in our country before we went into lockdown. And there is a solution, and it's up to all of us. Everyone here knows somebody that has been affected by one or more of these issues, and we are responsible for our children's health and well-being. And there is a solution, and it is choosing love. And it's simple lessons. It's not difficult, but everything comes back to that and the importance of that. So I just really appreciate you highlighting the importance of this and realizing it, and all of you on supporting our efforts. They're really important. And, you know, in the past 4 years alone, we're now being taught in every state, over 10,000 schools, and 110 countries. And this is by word of mouth. So that tells you how incredibly powerful each and every one of us is. And so, you know, we set out to do something, and we're doing it, and we will continue to do it until every individual has access to what we know is a direct path to flourishing, and that's social emotional learning. So I could talk about it all day and all night, as everybody on here knows. It's my passion. It would have saved my son's life. It would have saved Jesse's life, and the 19 kids that perished with him, and 6 educators. So what I'll close with is just talking about Jesse's courage. Jesse saved 9 of his classmates' lives before losing his own. He stood up to the shooter that came into his classroom and saved 9 of his classmates' lives. And I talk about that courage because we all have the capacity, right, Mom? The capacity for Jesse's courage, all of us. And that is the courage to be part of the solution, to do the right thing, not to read the articles and just say, oh, that's terrible, but to actually, everybody on here has that courage to stand up and to be part of the solution. That's what we are doing right now. And science tells us that courage is like a muscle. We can practice it to strengthen it. And we need courage to be kind. We need courage to do the right thing. We need courage to face our fear instead of resisting and avoid it. We've been talking about gratitude a lot on here. We need courage to be grateful. It's easy to be grateful when things are going our way. It's kind of easy to be grateful on this call because this is a really nice evening, but it's kind of difficult to be grateful when things aren't going your way. That's when you need courage. Somebody mentioned forgiveness. It takes courage to forgive. And I'm still working on some forgiveness myself. And it takes courage to step outside of the busyness of our lives. It takes courage to step outside of even our own pain and suffering to help somebody else. That's the formula for choosing love. And that's what you're helping to facilitate in schools across the country. So thank you. I'm very grateful for you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Don't sign off just yet. I want to remind everyone, Sarah took a minute to put the link in the chat box. We have this fundraiser going for 2 more weeks and it may extend. So if you'd like to order any for a gift or for yourself, the fundraiser will go through December for sure. It's good to collect with a friend unless you're interested in ordering 6 for other purpose because it's cheaper in shipping. And then there's also
But
discounts.
You get free shipping if you want to have a delivery every 4 see the Christmas cards thing too, but every 4 months you can have free shipping if you want to sign up for a subscription or if you want to do a case to thank people for holidays. All that's on sale right now too.
Okay, great. So check that out on their website. Thanks, Sarah.
Yeah.
We also, Scarlett was holding up Mia's bundles. We want to make sure to plug Mia Daley, our youth ambassador for the Choose Love movement. These are wonderful bundles that can be drop shipped direct to your end user for a great.
She's calling them Jessie Joy bundles. Is that, I mean,
beautiful. And they're only $15. I'm not sure if she said that. They're only $15.
Joy bundle. How wonderful would this be to drop this in your neighbor's box? You could write with a magic marker on here. You could even take one of the cards out of here and just write, drop it off to your neighbor. How wonderful is that? Just a whole little present, or drop them in a box and send them to your families. These are so amazing. I ordered boxes of them.
Mia puts her email. They're all handmade.
If you want to order them as well.
What'd you say, Mia?
I put my email in the chat if you would like to order Jessie's Joy bundles as well.
Mia has Venmo, easy for paying.
Yes, we have Venmo, got PayPal, anything, we got it.
Start with an email. Mia will follow up with you. She's fantastic. And
Mia will be running the Jessie Lewis Choose Love movement someday, probably.
That is honestly my dream job.
On our way to becoming president.
We have some live music to close out tonight. I would love for you all to stay for one wonderful song from our great friend Doug Allen. Stand by. Thanks.
So Doug Allen is a dear friend of mine. We went to middle and high school together. Doug Allen lives in Nashville. He is a musician. He's has a record label. And when he heard about Jessie, he invited me to write a song with he and another well-known songwriter producer. And I didn't write it, but my name's on it, which was really sweet of them to get the royalties. But Doug is just a dear friend. Every time we ask him to play for us, he does. He's traveled to do it. And this is the song this is our theme song. This is the Jessie Lewis Choose Love movement theme song. It's called Choose Love.
Bear with me. Let me see if this works. Hold on. Okay.
Thank you, Alexa.
All good? Okay. Hopefully we can hear them.
Tennessee. My daughter Isabella and I are going to sing Choose Love today, and thought I'd tell you a little bit about the inspiration for this song. I went to a playground ceremony that Choose Love put together with Scarlett in honor of all those that were lost on that day, and I came home and wrote this song poured out of me. I met Scarlett again for the first time since seeing her probably in high school, and Colleen reintroduced me to her, and introduced me to the event. And I was so struck by it. I went home and wrote all these words, and I had this song in mind. And then I played it for PJ Pacific. I said, "Buddy, what do you think of this? I think it needs something." And he said, "Yeah, it needs hey, hey." So between PJ and me and Scarlett, we got this song called Choose Love. Thanks for listening. It's all part of us. We can all choose love. It'll lift you up if you let it in. Let the healing begin. So won't you turn it up and tune it in and sing it loud over again. It's all part of us. We can all choose love. It's easy to remember where you were on certain days. How a mother's love never far away. Now an army of small angels are always looking down. 26 sweet faces from a small New England town. They're all part of us. Now we're all choosing love. It'll lift you up if you let it in. Let the healing begin. So won't you turn it up and tune it in and sing it loud over again and again and again. Yep. Hey, 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 oh. Well, times aren't always easy or easy to explain. Sometimes things just happen and they're happening again. When a group of total strangers come together to be one, to build a place for children to laugh and play and run. And they're all part of us. And now we're all choosing love. It'll lift you up if you let it in. Let the healing begin. Everybody, won't you turn it up and tune it in and sing it loud over again, again and again. Hey, 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 oh. So why do some things happen and people go away? I'm sure it would be easier if everyone could stay. But there's a bigger plan out there. I've come to believe that choosing love instead of anger is the only way to peace. It's all part of us. We can all choose love. It'll lift you up. You let it in. Let the healing begin. So won't you turn it up and tune it in and sing it loud over again and again and again. Hey, 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 oh. It's all part of us. We can all choose love. Thanks, everybody.
I love that. That was awesome. Doug and his 2 daughters. So sweet, so wonderful. So before we close out tonight, does anybody have any comments on the wine? What did you guys think? I had a glass of I saw a glass before, so I don't want to drink too much tonight because I have we've got lots to do still over the weekend. We're doing ambassador training over the weekend, but I love the red. Actually, I thought it was really good, a little bit fruity, but very tasty. What did you all think about the different wines? Does anybody want to offer some comments?
Ingrid, go ahead. Oh, I know you took it. She hates computers too. She's so mad right now. I know that she has some feelings about the red blend, but she is a pro red drinker. So I hope you figure that button out, or use your chat, hon. She's mad. She's gonna throw that computer.
I like the Cabernet.
You like the Cabernet? Now Phillips also had the red blend too. Oh, here's the one.
We like the Cabernet too. That was our favorite.
Excellent. And this is, and the twist caps, like I said, is the lower price point, but it's actually the best way to preserve wine. And the cork, like sometimes you might get a wine that has an interesting cork, and you'll taste that a little bit of the corkiness. But we do have a reserve collection, so if you're an avid wine drinker and you want to explore some of the higher level wines, some of these were also partnered with Robert Mondavi, and if you're a pro wine drinker, I guess that's what I would say. Like Robert Mondavi is excellent at what he does. Mm-hmm. So even knowing that he's associated with some of the wines that we've tasted tonight, I know at least the Cabernet, his name is on there, but we have a reserve collection as well.
Sarah, what are these?
Oh, we didn't use those. Those are sample thingies. Yeah, we just filled the glasses up repeatedly. So I guess if I was doing this in your home and providing you with
almost like a short straw or something.
I would give you a sample, but then not that much, so we just didn't use them.
Remember Baby Yoshi?
Yeah, Baby Yoshi.
I found out what he was for.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, you pick him up with X and then you hold R and he's a big balloon that you can float on.
Go show Eve that.
There you go.
Eve?
Yeah, sure. Thanks, bud.
But I lost Baby Yoshi.
So we've lost Baby Yoshi, but he's a big fan of the Cabernet too, I think.
Is he a Pokemon?
Baby Yoshi is Mario.
Oh, of course.
Right? Like you jump on his back, he goes.
Mary Pat, what do you got for us?
The Grigio was wonderful.
Oh, excellent.
I'm right there with you, Mary Pat.
I'm still hitting the champagne.
I'm going to go for another refill.
I think it's almost gone.
You know what's funny? I like the champagne better than the Pinot Grigio, and I feel like the Pinot Grigio was like it said on the bottle, sharper. Like I do feel like it had a much.
The champagne in the fridge. I'm saving it.
Yes, save that. But for
acidity.
for a white wine, I felt like that really did have it.
Working for me.
We found it. We found your gold.
We're knee deep into the Pinot Grigio here.
Excellent.
We're enjoying it.
Cheers, Alina's.
Did you notice that too? Like there was that little bite they were talking about. Even yeah. When I first sipped
absolutely.
Jerry, I'm glad you popped back on. Can you give us a PSA about Choose High Performance before we go, please?
Sure, we're excited. Choose High Performance is essentially the Choose Love movement for business for a fee, though. We don't give it away for free.
I love that he put that in his elevator speech right away.
Right? And we're here to turn your business into a high-performing team. We'll do it by working with you either individually or as a group. We just wrapped up a large group presentation with a large research hospital here in Connecticut. So we're very excited about that. We got great feedback. The feedback from the last manager was he wished we could do a presentation like that every week. So I'm going to follow up with him and see if that's possible.
Hey, well, if you want wine with that presentation, you let us know.
Definitely some champagne will get cracked open if that,
right,
happens.
Excellent.
So.
And I'm very proud to be on the Choose High Performance team. Cheers, Jerry.
Excellent.
I've
Cheers.
learned a lot
Thank
from
you,
you.
Stacey.
And
For
Stacey,
everything you did.
she shared a lot with me.
Cheers.
I look forward to learning more from you guys.
Are you
as
trying
well.
to tap?
No, I was just seeing what they were doing first.
I have the red blend.
My friend Ginnel. Ginnel is you guys are gonna laugh. So she is on the Monroe, the special education PTA with me, and I was treasurer, and I'm not good with that kind of stuff. So she was kind enough to take that over. And I don't want any men to find this offensive, but I call it, I pulled a man, right? I just wasn't that good at it until someone stepped up and said, I'll do it for you, hon, it's okay. And so Ginnel stood up and she did the dishes for me and cleaned the laundry, and she rocks it. So she's helping me with that too. And I'm so thankful that you're here.
Cheers to Ginnel. Woo!
I'm much better at math than I am at coming up with creative ideas. So Sarah, I think we're both in our correct realms at this point. Being the scientist I am, that I'm analyzing my wine.
Well, yeah, then she's a forensic scientist, my friend. So she's gonna give us the lowdown, what you're drinking. Oh, but I forgot to mention it's organic. There you go.
Good. Perfect.
Gentlemen, thank you for joining us. It was great to have you.
Pleasure.
Thank you so much.
And if there's any champagne left, we'll be over in the morning for the mimosas.
There won't be.
Oh, boy.
Philip, did you have a couple of potato latkes, my
I
friend?
did,
Okay.
latkes and that delicious wine paired well.
Sorry, Ginnel. This is Modern Family here.
This is.
That was great.
Is there any way we can get Choose Love Moment into the public sector? Because the public sector will never pay for anything. They're paying for the salary, but that's about it. I think that actually a lot of the public sector and a lot of frontline workers probably need that now. I think a little bit of Choose Love in there, something just a little bit. I don't know, just like how it's implemented.
It's like a cross between the Choose Love and high performance for what you're talking about. Excellent. Yeah, I feel like that's a really exciting. Look at you.
And we can do, for what it's worth, we can do a Zoom meeting for about an hour for about $1,500. So it's not anything out of reach for them.
Right.
And we usually try to partner it with a keynote from Scarlett that they do pay for. And we tell them, look, we give this away to the schools for free. As a business, we would hope that you would step up to be part of that. So that's kind of how we would.
Yeah. Ginnel and I both work for the man, as we like to say, in different ways, me the military, and she has her own. But it'd be interesting to work with associations that would be willing to take on that cost. And maybe go down that avenue for our sectors. Ginnel, I think it's an awesome idea. You're totally right.
If you can just set up a meeting through Stacy, and we're happy to talk to him. And look, once we've had a conversation with them about what we can actually accomplish, they won't say no.
All right.
Jerry has an incredible team, and the experience that they bring to the table to be able to, like he said, turn individuals into a high performance team. I've learned a lot in about 4 months of training weekly, and I'm very confident with the message.
That's awesome. I'm looking forward to it.
I love the message. Thank you so much. We implement that in my house on a daily basis. My 7-year-old, she one day I had a picture. She wrote in her own writing, gratitude, compassion, and choose love in her heart. And she knows. She knows the choose love message. I had to discuss with her. I think every child is different, and your child is ready for something or not. And I decided last year to talk to her about Sandy Hook. I talked to her about September 11th. We had these discussions, and I said, these are tough things. These are things that should never happen. But this is what we're doing from now on. And this is what we're bringing into our home. And every day every single day, I'm a very high functioning ADHD adult. And I just still today need to just get down, grounded on the level, and talk to my daughter face to face, eye level to eye level, and just tell her today was a tough day. I too had very hard discussions with my computer today because it did not work today. as my daughter did today. Hard time.
Amy's laughing. She feels you.
Yeah, we had the same problems today. I said, I'm me as an adult. I have the same problems. Thank you, Madison, for bringing that up to me. So what did we do with those feelings? And we just talk, Mommy. And then she just tells me she had emotions. She just broke down crying, but she's the type of person that can do so great into this world if I can just position her in that correct direction. If I had that growing up, my father committed suicide when I was 2 years old. I grew up in the household was difficult. It was just difficult life. I just had somebody to just take me and it's okay. These are your feelings. This is what we're doing with it, and 43 years, 41 years later, as a 43-year-old now, it's just, my children will hopefully just get there.
I have no doubt. And you know what? I'm sure Scarlett's going to speak to you about sharing something like that. But I will tell you that we share a lot of very high, strong personality traits.
Yes,
and one of the things that Stacy's made me listen to through Choose Love was trauma. And you would laugh if you were listening on some of the past calls, because she's like, log on. And they're like, we're talking about adult trauma. And I'm like, oh God, oh my God. And it's funny when you say that, because you feel it in every part of your body. And then I see it in my children. I see what I've passed to them and the experiences. So and you and I have gone through this with each other, where we feel each other's trauma. And I really appreciate you just taking a chance on us and sharing that, because that sheds a big light on who you are and how far you are.
And you should know that your children chose you to be their mom.
That is a beautiful point.
Sarah introduced me to saying that. I first time you ever told me that.
Absolutely. I heard that at a parent training many years
It's
ago.
the wine, Nora. It's just the wine, my dear.
It's so true.
Children chose me. I hope I can just make them proud and to make those right decisions.
Thank you for sharing.
You're awesome.
Thank you guys. This was great. Thank you.
Thank you for joining, honey.
Thank you.
Well, I can say that as a parent, I wish that I had known this. I wish I had been introduced to nurturing, healing love, and choosing love and social and emotional learning. I wish I'd been introduced to it in school. I definitely wish I had it when I first had my kids, when I was pregnant. Even when I was pregnant, we have a prenatal program, because your baby's brain is starting to form in utero. And if you are stressed and you're not reacting to the stress well, the cortisol that your body produces crosses the blood-brain barrier and negatively impacts your baby's forming brain. So in other words, the babies come out with smaller prefrontal cortexes, where your logic and reasoning reside, and larger brain stems, because what the baby's receiving, the information the baby's receiving from the environment is that you're being born into a stressful environment. You're not going to have to think, you're going to have to run. And so this impacts a baby's life, if you can imagine. And, if a mother can just be made aware that her thoughtful response to her environment is impacting her baby's brain, there are things that she can do to reduce her stress and reduce her, or at least thoughtfully respond, her personal power back. She may not be able to change her environment, but she can change how she reacts to her environment. That's just prenatal. Then a lot of moms, I was a single mom. I brought my babies to daycare when they were 6 weeks old. I dropped them off in the morning because they opened earlier, and then they were bused to a different daycare, and I picked them up at a different daycare because it closed later. And so my babies were with people that loved kids. That's why they chose to do what they did, but they weren't trained, especially. And this was a critical time for brain development. So we worked with an early childhood development specialist that created an infant toddler program that is training for the daycare providers. If you pass a daycare, please walk in there with this. This is what I tell the teachers, because those kids are then coming to your school. it's going to impact the kid when he gets to elementary school. Then we have this beautiful, and Kim, do you want to talk about the elementary school program for a moment?
Well, we just built upon what Steffi and all the other writers did earlier, and just incorporated literature and trauma sensitive things moving forward in the digitized format. It was just, it was just the perfect timing for everything to kind of come together. So yeah, it made it all in one complete, and Brave New World was, really perfect timing for everything. So it was an honor to be part of it, and we're still going to keep revamping it.
Yeah, we actually thoughtfully responded to what was happening in our world. I don't know of any other program provider that literally took what they had and thoughtful and then changed it a bit so that it better represented what kids were going through. and the kids were in lockdown and in an unprecedented time, in a very stressful time. And we were able to create an entirely new program called Choosing Love in a Brave New World. And it introduces not how we're wired to think, which is, the majority of our thoughts every day are negative and repetitive. That's the negative bias that's woven into our DNA. And the Brave New World actually teaches us how to have growth mindset, which is and post-traumatic growth. That means that you look at difficulty, and instead of getting taken down by it, you ask the question, how can I grow through this? What are the lessons in here for me? It's a different way of thinking. It's not how we're wired to think. It's not how we're born to think. We have to learn this. So even our Brave New World can literally change your life. And it is created for exactly where we are right now, which is in an unprecedented time. We're the only program that has anything like this. And that is a separate program. And then we have Choose Love for Schools, which is pre-K through 12th grade, because this isn't just a one-time thing that you learn. You have to practice it. It's not enough to know it up here. You literally have to practice it. I mean, I always say, and this is actually where I sit to give my presentations, and I say that we're all born with the tool belt. It's invisible, but it's around our waist, and we start putting tools in it when we're born. So you may cry. Crying is a tool. Crying is what you want to do when you want food when you're a baby, or you want your diaper changed. But then when you get a little bit older, crying doesn't work as well for most people. And so you got to take that tool out and you have to put a different tool in. Well, social and emotional learning are called essential life skills, and they're skills and tools that you're going to have in your tool belt for the rest of your life. And they impact every single aspect of your life. They impact when you're at school. They impact your relationships. They impact you at home. They impact you in your community. They impact you at work, all the way, your entire life. So we have programming for homes that corresponds to what we offer at schools, because kids, it doesn't matter, kids bring this home, and the parents a lot of times don't have these skills and tools, and they need to learn them. So we have corresponding programming to what the kids are learning at school, so the parents can help support them at home, and it teaches the parents these same skills and tools. And then we have Choose Love for Communities, because when I was launching this program in school districts across the country, if there was a celebration, never fail, there would be the chief of police there'd be the mayor, there would be the downtown business district president, there'd be the chamber of commerce, all these people, and they'd be saying, well, how can we support what you're doing? We want to choose love. How can we choose love? And so we created this community program because really there needs to be a consistent message of choosing love. Can't always choose what happens to us in our life. This is a foundational concept. Oh gosh, if you didn't realize that before, you know that now with COVID. However, we can always choose how we thoughtfully respond to any situation, circumstance, or interaction. That's how we take our personal power back, through our thoughtful response. That's actually how we're shaped and molded. How we choose to thoughtfully respond to the difficulty that happens in our life, because difficulty happens to everyone. And it is in our thoughtful responses how we're shaped and molded as human beings. And you must have social and emotional intelligence. So this program is for a lifespan. And it is the absolutely hands down the most comprehensive social and emotional learning program on the market. Except that we're no cost. And here's the reason, because where I live in Sandy Hook, I mean, we're a fairly nice community. And my son was priced out of the market of social emotional learning. Our school district was able to afford a program, but they could not afford the training. And so I went to the drawing board and I thought, I have to create a program that is free, that does not require teacher training, and that people will use. Because in Sandy Hook, we had a social emotional learning program, but I was told by the curriculum director, it never got out of the box. We need to create a program that will get out of the box, that will be used, because this is what transforms and saves lives. These are the skills and tools that kids are going to use for the rest of their lives. These are the skills and tools that reduce and prevent the suffering that leads to suicide, that leads to substance abuse, that leads to loneliness, that leads to anxiety, that leads to the majority of mental illnesses that we see today. We can reduce and prevent the suffering by what we're doing. And it is a lifespan. And it's working. It's working because we're now in over 10,000 schools and 110 countries. And by the way, we are simply talking about love. Love is what connects us all as human beings. We all, regardless of religion, lack of religion, color of skin, gender, where we live in the world, what language we speak, it doesn't matter. Any perceived or real difference, we're all the same as human beings in the want and need to love and be loved. And here comes this incredible concept that we can actually choose this for ourselves when we have some simple skills and tools. It's really incredible. It is so incredibly empowering. And then we can thoughtfully respond to whatever happens to us with love, kindness, caring, concern, compassion, civility, and we can take our personal power back. Here's the interesting thing. I talk to every single kind of audience you could ever imagine. So I talk to kindergartners, I talk to convicted felons, prisoners, lifers, I talk to CEOs. And I ask them this one question. I say, what does it feel like when you don't have control over a certain situation? And they all answer the same way. The kindergartners will say, well, I feel like my doll's being flung around a room. The prisoners will say, oh, I feel angry. I feel vengeful, rageful. The CEOs will say, well, I feel frustrated. I feel anxious. But there is a way for us to take our personal power back in any situation or circumstance. And it's this formula for choosing love, and it works. I practice this formula every single day, and it helps me take my personal power back, even after having lost my son. It is incredibly powerful. Kids love it. Kids love it. And adults love it too. They see the power in it. They're very connected. You see, Stacy was talking about it before. I really encourage everybody to go onto the website. This is spread by word of mouth. Please tell people this is very powerful. This is very powerful. We have the power to reduce and prevent so much of the suffering that we're seeing out there. We can prevent it before it happens. When you look online and you say, oh, so how do you, by the way, teenage suicide is at an all-time high. It's been increasing for the past 15 years, every single year. It is now at an all-time high. It's not like we don't know about it, because we all know the statistics. And when you go online and you say, how do you handle teenage suicide? I know this because I wrote an article about it. And it says, well, look for the signs, and then make sure you know where to go for help. Now, that's how we think as human beings. We put out fires. We wait till something happens, and then we deal with it. That's like anti-bullying programs, right? Substance abuse awareness programs. Where are our tens of billions of dollars being spent every year? It's in treatment, right? But wait a minute. What if we gave people the skills and tools that they needed to reduce and prevent the suffering that leads to all those issues? Wow, that's not how we normally think, but we can do it. And by the way, it's not just an idea of mine. There are decades of research to back up what I'm saying. In fact, research continues to come out every week. It's incredible. I mean, it's real. It's just not the way we normally think as human beings. We're reactive and we focus on the negative. This is proactive and preventative. So in other words, you drive around and do you see the anti-bullying, first of all, 2 double negatives, right? Have you seen, I'm going out on a limb. Have you seen the yard signs that say hate?
Scarlett, I just want to interrupt you real quick. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That anti-bullying thing, how do you feel about that? The zero tolerance concept. Because it's interesting for me.
How is that worked out for us?
Well, exactly. So in my research with the bullying concept, like I have a little bullying. I was a stressed out person, I'm sure prenatally. This is, I'm trying not to cry because I'm like, sorry, kid. But me too, for both my parents. Right, and I'm thinking about it, but I do listen to this Dr. Ross Green a lot, and The Explosive Child, and it talks about exactly what you're saying, which is the thoughtful responses. But what he says too is, as soon as once school shootings started to happen and once schools felt like they needed to intervene, they made this zero tolerance policy, which meant if you had a child that was a little bit different or a little bit off and didn't react in a certain way, it wasn't tolerated. And it was also at the same time that they were taking other kids out of special programs, and they were trying to integrate and build more inclusivity for the things that Stacy and I talk about with ABA therapy, autism, behavior issues, all different situations on the spectrum. These children are being brought into a classroom, into an inclusive environment, and they may not have the tools to handle that environment. And when they don't, and the staff isn't trained to accommodate that, it's looked at as, well, we have a zero tolerance bullying policy, and now you're out. So that's the champagne talking.
I think teaching anti-bullying makes bullies, because we show them in an assembly in a school
it's tough,
how this kid acted or reacted in a scenario, and
we focus on the negative. We focus on, I mean, let's look, we didn't start anti-bullying when school shootings happened, right? We had already been doing that. And Adam Lanza, who was the Sandy Hook school shooter, my guess he was the ultimate bully, right? But he was bullied terribly by everyone. And you know, the violence in our schools is simply increasing. What you focus on grows. So when you focus on bullying, it's going to grow. We focus on substance abuse awareness. I remember JT coming home after taking a substance abuse awareness class, and he was basically, long story short, saying, now I know where to buy drugs, what the street names are, how to do them. He showed me how to put the tourniquet around his, I think he was like 12. He showed me how to put the tourniquet around his arm and how to load a syringe and where to inject it in his arm. And I'm thinking, there's something wrong. There's something terribly, terribly wrong about this. How come we're not teaching them social and emotional intelligence so that they're not trying to numb themselves, so that they have the courage to face the difficulty that we all come across in life, and that they have the resilience to get through it, not just get through it, but grow from it, grow through it, and be shaped and molded by it, become better from it, become stronger from it. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about facing all of these issues in a completely different way. We're talking about ultimately reducing and preventing suffering that leads to all these things, but it's not how we traditionally think as human beings. You see the yard signs, hate has no place here. That is simply the way that we think. It's a great, you know, I know what the message is supposed to say. And of course there's good intention behind it. But if you think about hate has no place here, as opposed to choose love, you see that it is a completely different message coming from a completely different place. And, you know, it's just talking about it. It's talking about it. It's getting people excited about it. It's getting other people talking about it. It's spread by word of mouth.
I agree. I feel excited to talk about it because I'll tell you, sometimes, you know, you need an audience that wants to listen, I think is the key, and which is nice here because we've had people register to listen to it. And I don't know if Anthony's counselor is still on the phone, but she knows where I stand and my thoughts, and she is always a big advocate for him, and she loves to hear the different experiences he's had. And even with my son, he made a timeline of his life recently, and it was when he got his stuffy puppy as a little, and that's from Allison. Allison, he writes that puppy is the #1 thing that happened in his life. I'm his mom, but that hand-me-down puppy is #1, and all his birthday parties, and then getting his hand slammed in the door by an aide at school, and then getting thrown out of public school. That's his timeline. And that was his 6th school at the time. And that's why Stacy and I talk a lot about these different aspects and just understanding behavior and understanding what the school needs to, if you want an inclusive environment, what does that look like? Is it just ABA? Is it social emotional learning? And how do you bridge those things? So I just, you know, I'm into this whole wine thing, but I was really excited to just spend time with you guys and talking about this with a group that wants to discuss, because there's other groups that they're not facing the same challenges yet, or they're not even aware of their own challenges as an adult.
I think most people have been touched by one or more of these issues, or if they haven't, they know somebody that has. They're so widespread and rampant at this point. And there's, I don't know any other solution other than this.
Yeah. Well, this has helped me, not just with the champagne. Don't judge me. I'm just making sure this whole bottle is evenly dispersed. But talking about these things and Ginnel sharing and hearing other people speak and your thoughts, I mean, it helps a lot, and it's doing good, and it's doing good far more profound ways than I ever thought it would. You know, I thought I need to be more grateful. I need to meditate. I need to do yoga. I need to calm down. I need to just let it go. and I can't let it go by myself. I really need someone to remind me. So thank all of you for joining and reminding me of those things, especially you, Stacy.
You're my person.
I got you.
Sarah's my favorite person of 2020.
Well, 2020 was the worst year ever, so I mean, like a dog turd could be better than anything.
No, thank you. Although I have a lot of favorite people, but thank you. You came into my life through the Orange County Think Differently committee. Thank you, Mary Pat, if you're still on. I sat next to Sarge. I'm sure it was no coincidence. And it's been a great run.
Yes.
Thanks, everyone. This was really great. Scarlett, your insights are always so heartfelt.
Yeah.
You know, you speak from, I think the bottom of your heart all the way up to the top of your brain, and your messages are really well thought out, and the power just comes through your voice. It's really wonderful.
Thank you so much, Stacy. Thank you for introducing me to Sarah. Thank you. It's so nice to meet you all. I'm just so appreciative. This was so fun.
Fun. We did it. We had a lot of fun.
My favorite things: wine and choose love.
One more toast. Cheers.
She's getting me drunk.
Cheers, everyone.
Cheers, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
This was great. Let's keep in touch.
I think so too. We're in. And my neighbors, if you couldn't tell, they'll pop in too.
I want to do a wine fundraiser once a quarter.
All right.
I see that.
I'll just keep the landing page up and we'll just keep renewing it.
Perfect. Because that's part of our mission, is to have a lot of fun.
Right. And how well, I mean, I get a little sensitive when we talk about substance abuse because I feel bad. But I'm like, we're talking about important things, and this helps. This helps, actually. I think it does help a lot of us open up. So I'm okay. I'm cool with it.
It's all right. As long as you can handle it and you can have fun with it, and it doesn't control you, you control it.
Right. And next time you need to post the glasses you have.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I need to get you some professional. These are really nurturing, healing, love. And then on the other side, it says have a lot of fun.
Love it.
Yep.
I'm gonna take a picture of my wine bottle that I buy to support next to my glass that I have next to my tin.
And Ginnell, you are the only person that got the special gift bag. You got the brochure, sticker. You did.
You want to see my gift? Okay, I'll see if I can put it on my phone. There's a lot of things happening on the
Juggling 2 bottles.
Oh, that might be
Ingrid.
That might be her husband.
Nice. Thanks, Charlie.
Oh, no, it's Ingrid. Yeah, no, it's Ingrid.
Thanks, Ingrid.
She's so good.
I have my bottles.
That's her technology.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
That looks great.
That was good.
Oh, I didn't see that.
It was very random. She just said, I want to buy. And so she met me and I gave it to her out of the trunk of my car. Yep.
I don't know if you saw from behind, but in our display, we have some Choose Love swag.
Love the swag. Loves the swag for sure.
That's awesome. Very cool. Well, this was fantastic, and I couldn't have asked for a better message. Not even like minus the wine, and just things come to you at a certain time. And I totally believe in signs, and I really appreciate Stacy doing this with me and introducing me to you, and just being able to talk like this, even in the middle of a COVID lockdown. And I just am very grateful and aware of these signs being a good thing for me. So I hope they are for you as well.
Absolutely. They're definitely for me. And I hope they were for everybody.
Yeah. Next time you guys will get glasses.
That's right.
Love.
I know I'm out. Should I fill again?
You're
right?
out?
Let's hang up, right?
You got all the sick? Awesome.
Well, we'll make sure that that link is still available. I'll leave the landing page up and we can share it on Facebook and all those things. But that's all that we have.
Thank you. This was wonderful. What a great night. Thanks everybody for joining.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.
That's Jesse's papa.
Thank you.
His Nana's thumb.
Nana's
Doug thought that was your Doug was texting me saying, is that her? Is that his toe? That's
It does kind of look like it.
Okay.
I can't read and laughing. They think we're so funny.
Thanks for contributing to the fun.
You too. It was great. Thank you guys.
That's it. That's your new. That's who you are. Everything gets on.
You're gonna go update your Facebook profile now.
I think that's a sign that we're doing really well with the wine.
Thumbs up.
Yeah. Thumbs up. Thumbs up. Good night. Thank you.
All right.
Good
Thanks, guys. Love you.
Yeah, it looks like some very sweet puppies. Oh, she left.
I'm just reading.
I'm who?
Okay. All right. Love, love.
Gods will save it.
Oh, well, we're still talking.